SEC Network Analyst Roman Harper is presented each week by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND to double your initial deposit bonus when you use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. Good morning, Harp. What is up?
What's happening, fellas? I'm actually at my wife's tennis match. I gotta be a little quiet, but she doesn't want me. I don't think she knows I'm out here, so it's all good. I'm just sneaking to watch.
Club championship?
What?
Is this the club championship?
No, I wish. I mean, dude. I mean, they're just doing good to hit it back and forth. I'm not disrespectful at all, but this is not championship level. It's fine.
Yeah,
a couple steps under that, guy.
Harp's not disrespecting, but they're doing good just to hit it back and forth. He said.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like in remember in Fletch where the wife's out there. He goes to play tennis and she's just like hitting it straight up in the air.
Yeah, they're doing good just to hit it back and forth. So let's talk about the SEC. Texas A&M. You would have them if you did a Roman Harper power ranking where right now?
2?
You would have them 2
behind
Georgia, right?
Yes, behind Georgia, of course. But I mean, Texas A&M they have a game plan the way they win their way, which is they're going to play really stymied defense. They're going to have different designs. They're going to do different things on that side of football. They're going to be very creative. And then on offense, they're just going to find a way. They're finding ways to run the football effectively. And I thought what Mike Elko did last week was brilliant. That, you know, under Connor Wegman, we weren't getting anything done. LSU's defense was starting to choke us out. We were very constraining. We couldn't get anything going. And he's like, you know what, we're just going to make a switch. Puts in Marcel Reed, and they look completely different, and LSU was not ready for it. And if you can win in multiple ways, in multiple fashions, why not limit yourself? And right now, I'm looking at Texas A&M, and I'm not even saying that Marcel Reed is just the guy going forward. They have this 1-2 combination where you might roll out Connor Wegman if we can't move the ball with Marcel Reed this week versus South Carolina, because they're going to be prepared for the quarterback run. And then all of a sudden, you're ready to go back to Marcel Reed if necessary, if Connor Wegman may be struggling throwing the football as well. So I like that you're going to have multiple facets to win. It also makes other teams have to prepare for you in multiple ways as well. And more practice time is spent on different ways and which quarterback's in, what this one wants to do. It's a lot of things that you have to try and process, where we all know college players and defenses are not always that smart.
You know, I know you can say this about a handful of teams right now, but South Carolina 2 plays away from being 6-1. And this is a dangerous team in Columbia. They're only a 2.5-point underdog. It would be so 2024 for Texas A&M to win Elko's biggest game, and the biggest game they've won in arguably a decade, and then go into Columbia and lose on Saturday night.
I would not be shocked one bit. The fact that it's a night game makes it really, really weird. Night game in Columbia, we know how that place goes. The later it gets, it's going to be one of those type of environments. And South Carolina has one thing that can nullify everything that you do offensively, which is a very attacking, aggressive defense, especially front seven. Their front D linemen, the 2 edge player, Kyle Kennard, and Dylan Stewart are disruptors all the time. Then you got the 2 interior guys, Tonka Hemingway, and the other guy slipped my mind right now. I apologize. But those 2 guys in the interior are also very good as well. And they present a lot of problems. I saw just last time we saw South Carolina, it was versus Oklahoma, who tried to use some quarterback runs, and the defensive tackles just ate it all up because they're aggressive, they penetrate, they don't stay blocked. And so whenever you're trying to do all these early run designs, if you have guys that are in the backfields, it just throws all the timing off of everything. And that is the one thing that South Carolina has. And South Carolina has won games because their defense has forced turnovers, and then they score off of those turnovers, which we know is a real back-breaking thing when it comes to football. And so South Carolina has all the elements to win this game. But I could also see Texas A&M hitting Sellers, forcing the interception, and they scoring and winning it one way, that two way as well. I just think this game is so many different facets because I don't know what quarterback's going to play for Texas A&M the whole game. I don't know how Sellers is going to be as far as handling what Texas A&M does third down defensively and some of the other exotic looks that they do on that side of football. And I don't know if Texas A&M is going to be able to block the front of South Carolina and actually help them win a game on that side of it too. So because of all that, guy, I'm like really, really out on this game. I'm more just excited about the unknown of this game.
Roman
Kind
Harper,
of like you guys' Halloween outfits.
You do like them or do not like them?
I mean, I kind of like them. Hold on. You got to tell me. All right, I know Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, mine. I'm going to have to send you a video on
yeah,
mine.
You're not getting. It's an inside joke.
It requires a ton of context. The audience gets it. You may not.
Okay. I thought it was the one Dave Chappelle movie from back in the day where he was the weed dealer. Oh my gosh, it was one of his first ones.
Half baked.
Yeah.
Okay. You can be that if you want.
Yes, half baked.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
If that's how it's art. However it speaks to you is what it is, Harp. It is art. Roman Harper is with us from the SEC Network, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on to MyBookie.ag. They double your initial deposit. You make that deposit, they double that for you, so you get started with plenty in your account right there at MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on to get that double deposit bonus. Code next round at MyBookie.ag. Auburn they're not indicative of their record. They are a better team. I know the old saying, Harp, is you are what your record says you are. They are a better team than what their record would indicate. And that is shown by MyBookie.ag and everywhere else in the world, making them a touchdown favorite over Vanderbilt. This has been a good Vanderbilt team, but the smart guys in Vegas say Auburn is still a one touchdown favorite over them. Do you watch film on Vandy and Auburn and say, I can see that. I can see that Auburn is maybe a touchdown better than Vandy and Jordan-Hare?
I totally could. It's because Auburn hasn't turned the football over as much as they had starting the season off. And so if Auburn doesn't turn the football over, they have a lot more wins. And that is a true statement. And I'm not going to say they're better than what their record is because I'm a firm believer in that. But they have played good football in every game so far that they played. Now, what do they do going forward? It's going to be really it'll be interesting to see. I do think that Auburn has a couple things that presents Vanderbilt's problems. Up front, they have a guy, Keldrick Falk, who can really cause a lot of damage for everything that Vanderbilt likes to do because he's right there at the D-line. He plays interior. He goes outside some. And that's all right there where all the little fakes and all the option action happens for Vanderbilt. And so if he's disruptive, he throws off everything. And Vanderbilt's not a drop-back team. They also took a lot of lumps last week versus Texas. So how physically ready are they ready to go? That's another very interesting thing. But, I mean, Auburn has found ways to lose games, and they found ways to put the ball on the ground. They found ways to turn the football over. When they've taken care of it, they give themselves a chance to win the game. Vanderbilt, we know, has found ways to win games because they create turnovers and they normally take care of the football. They didn't do that versus Texas. That's why they eventually lost that game. They also couldn't stop the run as well on second and third down long situations. And so maybe that's what Vegas is looking at, that Auburn can find ways to continue to run the football. I mean, they did just have running back rush for 278 yards. And so maybe Auburn will stick with that type of game plan where they're going to pound the ball, they're going to run the football, take the air out of it. Don't put so much on your quarterback's arm and all these fancy brand new wide receivers that we want to try and show off early in the year. We're going to actually be who we should have been the whole time, which is a running football team using a little bit of play action, not the whole RPO game. We're just going to do either run or pass, all designed and called off of the offensive coordinator, which is Hugh Freeze. So it'll be really interesting to see. It's at Jordan-Hare, which is another advantage for Auburn. I'm not super excited for my Vanderbilt Commodores, who I've been rooting for silently, and actually not silently at all, but pretty loudly all year long.
You know, you look at Ole Miss, and obviously with 2 losses going into November, they got to play mistake-free football. They've got to win out in order to get to a college football playoff. Now they go to Fayetteville. And much like you said about South Carolina, that place is crazy at night. You kind of wish, if you're pulling for Arkansas, this game was a nighttime game in Fayetteville. I think that does benefit Ole Miss. With all that said, when Arkansas is clicking and Taylon Green is playing elite football, is this maybe the most dynamic offense in the SEC?
Well, I know it's definitely one of the more dynamic quarterbacks when he's playing well and taking care of the football. And the crazy thing is he had 6 touchdowns last week, guys. And I'm charted like 3 or 4 where I'm like, man, if he would have just made this decision, it was another touchdown. And so he's still not even at his peak performing level. the biggest thing with Arkansas is the same thing as with Auburn. Is that when you guys take care of the football, you win football games. And that's been what I've heard Sam Pittman say for multiple weeks now. They're playing better defensively as well. And honestly, Ole Miss feels a little bit more stale offensively than they have in the past. And so when you have that situation rolling into Arkansas, where honestly, guys, this game's really just going to come down to who takes care of the football. And so if Arkansas is able to force Ole Miss into some problems and some turnovers and gets the crowd into it, then Arkansas wins the game. But if Ole Miss takes care of the football and Arkansas puts the ball on the ground like they did versus LSU just 2 or 3 times, like uncontrollably and just bad, then Arkansas is going to lose the game and it's going to look bad on Sam Pittman. But we got to remember, I think I just heard it from my ESPN guys, I think Ole Miss is like 2-16 versus Auburn the last. Like they have not been able to beat Arkansas for some strange reason for a very long time now. They just been well. I think they beat them in Little Rock in 2020, but as far as in Fayetteville,
I think we lost Harp. The tennis match got him. That's unfortunate. All right. Thank you, Roman Harper, SEC Network. At Harp41 on social media is where you find him, and he joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag, code next round, MyBookie.ag, code next round, to double that initial deposit, where Auburn is up to a 7-point favorite. It has been lingering around 6.5, up to 7 overnight. So that number continues to climb there in Auburn.